Hello there, my name is Mechi Garza. Welcome to my YouTube page. I want to tell you a little bit about me today. It's always fun to talk about oneself, and it's going to be very much fun for me to tell you some of the things I did and some of the things I felt during a rather long life. I am 87 now. And I have to stop when I say 87 because it seems impossible that I have reached that age of 87. I was born in Oklahoma, the land of the Indians. It would be, however, 14 years before I realized that I was an Indian. My mother wanted me very much, but she was in no condition to take care of me. She and her mother were not getting along very well, and she wanted my grandmother, wanted my mother to break away from my father, and my mother didn't want to do that, so with one thing and another, mother was having a very hard time. For instance, she didn't have a job. She was only 17. And she would, to get nourishment for her baby, she would go out early in the morning and steal milk, swipe milk. Back in those days, they delivered milk around to the houses. So she would go to a house where they had some milk sitting out, and she would get a bottle or two of milk and then go someplace. I don't know where she was living. She didn't tell me that. I think she probably had a little round room. So I was raised on stolen goods the first few weeks of my life. It gets better. Here I am with a mother who couldn't support me, a grandmother that I couldn't turn to. I knew nothing about my father, so something was going to have to give. Now, Mother had a very good friend named Dr. Allen. Dr. Allen had delivered me. And I guess there's something about delivering a baby, even though you feel a certain bonding to it. And they stated to me. So he and Mother decided that they were going to get me adopted. And we had decided to go around for someone who wanted me. My mother, being a mother, thought I was awfully cute. And the doctor, who had sort of the thrill of delivering me, he seemed to think I was all right too. Not everybody would think that, but these two people did. So there was a social worker in the hospital. She and her husband had no children, but they were in no position right then to adopt a child. But she had a sister that she said would love to adopt me. All right, that's fine. She got in touch with her sister. Her sister lived in Missouri. Her sister said she wanted me very much, but she couldn't take me because her husband was what they used to call traveling salesman. He went all over the state selling shoes. Well, that's another story. Maybe I'll tell you sometime. At any rate, she couldn't take me, he couldn't take me, but their landlord could take me. The landlord and his wife had no children. They were very eager to have a child, so they decided that they would take me. He went to Tulsa, Oklahoma, where I had been born, to pick me up. And I guess he liked me because he said he'd keep me. So he brought me back to Kirksville, Missouri, where he lived. And he brought me back to his wife, my mother. She was a saint. She was so dear and so sweet to me. And I had a wonderful time. I didn't know they were not my real parents. I thought, of course, they were my real parents. I didn't know anybody who had been adopted. I hardly knew what the word adopted meant. So they were my mom and my daddy.